my feel-good breakfast show.
Good morning and welcome. If you've just joined us, you tune into your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3. And JP's like, oh, I'm about to go on live TV. Yeah, my man. What are you expecting?
These cameras aren't real. They're made of chocolate, right?
Yeah, sure.
Pete, bite it. There we go.
There we are. Look, guys, it's JP.
Yes. Hello.
Love the hair.
And the hair. This is almost hair from a past life, if you will.
Oh, look at that. I saw the segue.
Hopefully. Man knows how to say the word segue. Very good for you.
Yeah.
So, there's a romance that's already out in circuit, and it's getting big acclaim from a lot of critics all over the world. I don't know if you heard of Past Lives.
Tell me about it.
But, it's one of these things that it's really intense, thought-provoking type of stuff. And I'll tell you what, I'll give you one of these intense, thought-provoking type of scenes. Just to try and set the scene for you, though, is what you've got here is a lady who immigrated from Korea when she was a kid and had this child puppy love boyfriend back in the day. And he decides he's going to come and visit her in a new home of New York. And that could always be a sort of a contentious decision. And you'll find all that tension in this scene from Past Lives, out already.
너는 나를 왜 찾았어?
12년 전에? 그게 그렇게 궁금해? 한 번 더 보고 싶었어. 잘 모르겠어. 왠지 네가 날 두고 그냥 확 가버려서 좀 열받았던 것 같아.
미안.
뭐가 미안해?
Hey, man, I'm loving the acting. Yeah, that's real, genuine stuff.
And the chemistry is off the charts. So you've got two definite shoe-ins for Oscar next year, and especially since the Oscars will be looking for something, since everything got delayed. But yeah, also just because it's a fantastic set of actors that you've got there. Greta Lee will be nominated, and Teo Yu will also be nominated. Thank you for telling me his name there, Ewan, with your fine Korean accent. So yes, like I said, it's already out, and some of you have already seen it. And really what sort of... Okay, tell you what, let me set the scene and the story for you for a bit. So, already said that she immigrated. She went to Canada with her family. Obviously, that's through no choice of her own. She was 12 years old when this was decided. And she accepts it in a way that I think us as guys, we recognize that when breakups happen, even when it was 12, like the girl tends to put on a very brave face compared to guys, and the guy becomes a mopey puppy. I don't know, that's just been my experience. And so...
Sounds about right.
You know what I mean? It's strange, like us who try to act like the tough guy through the entire relationship, and then when she says goodbye, she's like, bites her lip and makes the decision. And deftly then goes into this future where she says, you know, you're never going to win a Nobel Prize if you're in Korea, because she wants to do literature. She ends up being a playwright in Canada, and from there, years pass, and she gets married. But before that, she joined up with this guy again in a pen pal situation. He was searching for her the whole time. She changed her name, and that's why he couldn't find her. Because, I mean, similar to, you know, African people here in South Africa, you have an English name that you adopt because you're going into a new world, I suppose. I don't know why people make these decisions. That's up to you. And so he couldn't find her on social media for that reason. And when they do connect, it starts off with a few innocent clicks. And she's like at 1 a.m. like, what if I just, you know, reach out to Hae Sung again and see what he was up to? And it's crazy how this movie sort of spirals out, how a few innocent clicks like that can just open up a bottle of worms. What's the saying? I don't know. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? A can of worms. Sorry, I'm fancy. I get my things in bottles and my worms in cans like you guys. And so, yeah, it starts off really interestingly with this proposition. You hear this narrated voice of other people watching these three people on a date, then her and her husband and this guy who surprises them in New York. He's not being forceful. He's not being like overly heavily like burdensome and emotional, as you could see from that scene. He's not falling to his knees saying, please come back to me type of thing. But these narrators again, I wonder who's who. Like, is she dating him? Is she dating that guy? The way we play these games sometimes when we're out in public. And then she looks into camera, and like the truth is that you reached a movie here where people don't have these solid defined categories. You are wife, you are husband, and you are definitely like long forlorn lover kind of thing. They're all people in a fluid state of motion where they just don't know where they are. Does she still love him? Does she still miss him? Does he miss her and whatever? And this is the complication, man. We just saw that movie. It was Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, Marriage Story. We're getting so many more of these romances where it's not all like roses and it's not all like rainbows.
Yeah.
And life is real and being alive is hard. And so in this movie, you have to tango with, when do you part ways? Do you have that airport reunification scene where everyone runs into each other's arms and kisses? Or is life really like that? And the acting is really the thing that carries it so well to prove that. That's all you need sometimes. You don't need necessarily the Hallmark card for what romance looks like. And sometimes Past Lives is the life that we live in right now. But this is a scene, again, from Past Lives. Whereas I was talking about that date situation where you don't know who's who, but she's obviously married to the guy who calls himself a white Jewish guy in the United States. And this foreign dude from Korea comes back into her life. Another look at Past Lives.
왠지 널 보고 여기도 오고 그러니까 좀 이상한 생각이 많아지네.
무슨 생각?
12년 전에 그때 내가 만약에 뉴욕에 왔었다면 어땠을까? 만약에 네가 한국을 떠나지 않았다면, 그렇게 떠나지 않았고 우리가 같이 자랐더라도 내가 널 찾았을까? 우리가 사귀었을까? 헤어졌을까? 부부가 됐을까? 우리는 아이들을 가졌을까? 그런 생각들.
You can really see him there battling with his emotions in that scene.
Actors knowing what to hold back, when to just bite their lip and not
Very good.
overact it and whatever.
good.
So you don't get all of these scenes with huge violins and sweeping tears and
This is
you know,
like,
drama.
I sometimes like stories where it's real. It's very close to what we all experience,
many of
and
us will
watching
resonate.
that, yeah.
Love is complicated. Nothing's clean cut, and no one ever really says goodbye.
Give us some popcorns, bud.
So 8 out of 10 for Past Lives. Do yourselves a favor. It's very thought-provoking. Might be very sad for some people too. Might be very happy. I'm not going to tell you how it ends. But yeah, definitely the kind of thing that will get you talking over dinner. Hopefully not too much about your past lives and exes and stuff like that. But hey, that's what being a human is about.
Awesome, thanks, bud. More with JP coming up as we delve more deeper into some other movies that released and his take on it. Stick around, we'll be back.